Most beginners don't understand this plant because they've only read about it. If you're a beginner in herbalism and every time you try to study you feel overwhelmed, like there's too much Latin, too much chemistry, too many herbs to memorize, I want to show you a more effective way to begin. Because herbalism isn't mastered through memorization, it's built through relationship. I'm curious, what part of studying herbalism feels the most overwhelming to you right now? Let me know in the comments. I received 2 questions from our community. Both of them were really about the same thing. How do you actually learn herbalism without feeling intimidated? So Bronx Chicks 92 asked, what are some ways you would recommend someone who is a beginner and wants to study and learn herbalism beyond the books? And then Michaela W. V20 said, I have a passion for the healing power of herbs, but getting into its studies is very intimidating to me because it's so much to learn. I'm more of a hands-on learner than a read a book type of person. What can I do to increase my learning and make it fun? When I first began studying herbalism, I approached it like most beginners do. I thought I needed to memorize everything, monographs, actions, constituents. This leads to overwhelm really quickly because I had the information, but I didn't yet have the integration. That shift happened when I stopped trying to master every herb and started building a relationship with one. Herbalism is experiential, and if you don't build a personal plant practice, the books will always feel abstract. I think the best way for beginners to learn herbalism is to develop your own personal plant practice. It's just like a movement practice or a meditation practice. You engage with the plants consistently. Herbalism is inherently hands-on. The folks who read the books but never actually make tea don't fully understand herbalism. And the reverse is true. The folks who only make the teas, throwing herbs in a pot, but don't study in some way, don't fully understand either. We really do need both. You have to understand how you respond to the herbs when you work with them internally, topically, emotionally, spiritually, and you need to understand how they support you, which is where the studying comes in. One of the most accessible ways to practice is to get into the kitchen and make something. Most herbal books have recipes. Choose one plant per month. Read about it in one of your books, then make one recipe a week using that plant. Let me give you an example. I am working with marshmallow root right now because perimenopause has been drying out my throat and my sinuses. I'm drinking marshmallow root infusions every day. I'm experimenting with different strengths of infusions, cold water versus hot water infusions, overnight steeping versus 1-hour steeping times. Marshmallows, the sweet treat you add to hot chocolate, were once made from marshmallow root before industrial processing removed the plant entirely. Maybe I'll try to make real marshmallows. I've been wanting to grow into botanical illustration too, so I may try drawing it, which teaches us a lot about botany. I grew it last year, but let it go to seed. This year I can grow it again and harvest the leaves and the roots. I can do an enema with it, take a spiritual bath with it, make a hair gel, if I need to get my edges cleaned up before my next retwist. You'll read in almost every herb book that marshmallow root is one of our premier, super accessible mucilaginous plants. But for a beginner, mucilaginous just sounds like a long scientific word that you don't understand. When you read words like mucilaginous and you have no idea what it means, it can feel like you're not smart enough for this, like maybe herbalism belongs to somebody else. I can define it. I can tell you that mucilage is a general term for a group of polysaccharides in the plant that when exposed to water, expand into soft, slippery, gel-like fibers that coat and soothe the tissue. Did that definition really help you understand it? Not really. You'll know when it clicks, when you see it, when you feel it, when you taste it, when you take it. Have you ever worked with one herb consistently for a full month, or do you tend to jump from plant to plant? Let me know in the comments. Struggling with a health issue that just won't budge? You want a holistic path. You're even thinking about becoming an herbalist, but you need real guidance. Let's talk. Book a free call with me and we'll figure out your next right step, whether it's a private consultation or one of my signature programs like Herbal Medicine for the Soul. So if you're ready to feel better and live on purpose, click the link and schedule your free call today. Let's get you aligned and moving forward. If you do nothing else from this video, do this tonight. Put 1/4 of a cup of marshmallow root in a glass jar, pour 2 cups of room temperature water over it, let it sit overnight. Tomorrow morning, when you see that thick, almost silky solution, sip it. Feel the slippery sensation in your mouth, swallow and notice how it coats your throat and feels so soothing. Now you know what mucilage is. So for real, try this tonight. Come back and tell me what you noticed. What did you feel in your body? Then when you turn to your anatomy books, because we do need to read, and learn that you have mucous membranes lining your digestive tract, surrounding your vagina and bladder, lining your respiratory system from your mouth all the way to your lungs, something starts to connect. Now it's starting to click. Mucilage soothes tissue that is irritated, inflamed, or dry, especially tissue lined with mucous membranes. So when you drink that marshmallow infusion and feel it coat and soothe your throat, you're experiencing what it may also be doing in the esophagus, the stomach, the intestines. When you learn that the bladder and the vaginal canal are also lined with delicate mucosal tissue, you begin to understand why marshmallow shows up in formulas for urinary irritation or vaginal dryness. Now the anatomy book makes sense. It's not abstract anymore. Now the chemistry terms, polysaccharides, mucilage, aren't so intimidating. Now you and the plant are in a deeper conversation. Your herbalism matures when theory and lived plant experience inform each other. So if you're just beginning, here is your framework. Choose one plant, study its energetics, its actions, its constituents, prepare it in multiple ways, observe how it interacts with your body, document your findings. That's herbalism beyond the books. So what plant are you going to start with? If you're serious about building clinical confidence in herbalism, start with depth, not volume. And if you want structured guidance as you develop that foundation, explore my beginner resources linked below.